Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jaime Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local. And don't you love good food and good people? That's what you will find at Rinaldi's. I want to introduce you to the owner, John Sayegh. John, we go way back, some 10 years now.
Yes, we do.
Thank you so much for joining me on my podcast.
No, I thank you and thank AZ Family for letting us in.
Yeah, letting you in the building, right,
Letting
Paul?
me in the
Shout out to
building.
Paul down in security. We're letting you in. 30 years in the Valley for Rinaldi's.
Yes.
Yet you're John Sayegh. Yep. Who's Rinaldi?
Rinaldi was a gentleman that opened it up in Tempe on Mill and Third. He only had it for about 5 or 6 months. Then I came in and I bought it from him. He sold it to me and gave me the rights for Rinaldi's in Arizona.
You've been doing it ever since.
Yes.
Obviously, we can hear from your accent. You are not from Arizona. Where are you from?
No, I'm not. I'm from New York. I'm from Yonkers, New York.
Wow. How did you end up here, and what kind of work were you doing in Yonkers?
Well, I ran supermarkets back home in New York for the AP supermarkets. I was a deli and dairy consultant for about 40 stores in Manhattan and Upper Westchester.
So you had that deli experience,
Yes.
which makes sense as to why you ended up here. Tell me about Grandpa's place.
Grandpa's place was great. I was about 8, 9 years old. I was helping him out on weekends when I didn't have school. And it was fun back in the day. It was really fun learning from him how to use the slicer.
Oh, at 8 and 9?
Yes.
That's scary.
Yes,
So
it
did you ever
is.
hurt yourself?
Yes, I did. I did cut myself a few times. You got to get that nick in there.
Yeah, you get probably a badge of honor in the business.
Yes.
That first nick. So Grandpa had a market.
Yes.
You grew up there. You learned a lot there too.
Yes, I did. And I always loved the restaurant business. I love people eating my food.
And you have delicious food.
Thank you.
You know, whenever I'm in that part of town, I try to stop by.
Yes, you do.
Tell us where you are located.
Right now, we're located in the Promenade on Scottsdale Road in Frank Lloyd Wright.
And you say right now because?
Because we had a couple of locations. We sold one in Deer Valley, and it's under a different name.
Okay, so 30 years with Rinaldi's here in the Valley. But you came to Arizona, why?
I came here on a business deal in a gas station. It did not go well after 2 months, and I went out on my own.
Yeah, so 2 months in, you're like, what am I going to do? Back to what you know.
Exactly.
You know how distracted I get by food. So we got to talk about what you brought here so that I could get it off my mind because it smells so good. So for folks who are watching, you could take a look around the table with us. And this is probably our best display that we've had of food here. Wow, you loaded us up with a huge party sub too. And then for folks who are listening, we get to have the joy of describing things to people. Isn't that fun?
Yes.
John, let's start right here.
All right, first of all, I got a 4-foot sub, and a 4-foot sub, we put lettuce, tomato, onion dressing, ham, salami, pepperoni, provolone, turkey, and then our rare roast beef, Jamie. And it's all Boar's Head products. The product that I learned in New York, that's what I grew up on, Boar's Head. Mm. Boar's Head does come from New York, and it's a very, very expensive cold cuts. Mm-hmm. It's not like other ordinary delis that they have the other products. Like a turkey will cost me almost $6 a pound. Mm. So it's all premium cold cuts. And our roast beef, we cook it on the premises.
Gulp, making me hungry. You have a salsa right by your arm over here.
Yes.
Tell me about the salsa.
This is my wife's salsa, Bolivia salsa. And she's my backbone of the business. And she makes it. And we also make it fresh on the premises. And then we use that for our breakfast burritos. Our breakfast burritos is a potato, egg, and cheese with ham, bacon, sausage, or chorizo. Now, Jamie, one thing about us, we boil our own potatoes, we dice them, and we grill them. We don't get them in already made. Everything is freshly made. And our eggs, we don't use liquid eggs. We use fresh eggs. We crack every egg in the store.
Why is that so important to you?
Because it's fresh. Liquid eggs do not taste good.
Yeah. And it is delicious. You know, when I was working the early mornings and when we'd end up in North Scottsdale, we'd come running to you. John, feed us. Feed us. We want the good stuff. And that salsa Bolivia makes is delicious, too. It's really unique.
Yes, it is.
So is that a family recipe, or how'd you start doing that?
It's her recipe. I don't touch it.
You don't touch it, and you don't ask questions, do you?
I don't ask.
Well, tell Bolivia it is delicious, and we love it.
Thank you.
You have a salad over here.
Yes, we do. This is our Greek salad, and we are probably one of the only ones in Arizona that puts the stuffed grape leaves, which is meatless, and pepperoncinis and calamari olives, and that's always freshly made. Our salads are not pre-made. When you come in to order it, we make it fresh as we go.
And, of course, we need something sweet, too.
Yes. Our cannolis, we don't make the shells, but we do the cream. The shells do come in from East Coast, but the cream is made on the premises.
Tell us exactly where you are located.
We're in the promenade on Scottsdale Road and Franklin Ride, where the big blue tower is. We're right next to Off Saks, near Benihana and Capitol Grill.
When we walk in, what will we see? What should we expect when we walk into your deli?
You see a nice smiling face with personality coming to the deli. People do come into the deli on my personality. They love me chatting with them and teasing them about Boston Red Sox, New England Patriots against the Giants, and all that stuff.
And you have a lot of sports memorabilia on your walls.
Yes, I do.
Why is that? What kind of sports fan are you?
I'm all fan. I'm hockey, baseball, basketball, football, and soccer now.
Oh, you like the Rising?
Yes.
Oh, good. Very cool. You have a full menu. You have a lot of things that if we were going to be catering a party, the Super Bowl is coming up.
Yes.
We might want to come to you. What kind of things do you do for the Super Bowl?
Well, the Super Bowl, instead of a 4-footer, we have the 6-footer, which we do about 20 to 25 6-footers on Super Bowl Sunday. We also have meatballs. We have baked ziti. We have sausage and peppers. We have chicken parm. We also, our brisket of beef, well, I'll slice it ahead of time for you guys and get that all. Or you want sandwich platters, macaroni salad, potato salad. Everything is made on the premises in the store.
That famous black and white cookie, too.
Yes.
What is that cookie? What's the deal with that cookie since I'm
That
not from New York?
cookie is from Steinfeld. The cookie, the black and white cookie. There was an episode.
Oh, yeah.
So some people call it half moon cookies, but they're called black and white cookies.
What are they?
They're like a lemon cake cookie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Those I get shipped in from New York.
Yeah. What else is coming out in from New York? What's the New York influence in the deli, and what's the Arizona influence in the deli?
Well,
it's a New York deli, right?
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's all the Arizonans coming for that good food.
And they see the meatballs, the steamed table, and they love seeing all that.
Yeah.
And the brisket or the hot pastrami coming out that we cook, the corned beef, eggplant parmesan. We make that on the premises. We don't put 2 slices of eggplant with a little cheese and sauce. It's thick.
I think the Arizona influence is all the customers who you have touched over 30 years. Because if I mention your place, people know you. People go there to see you and eat your delicious food, of course. But, you know, your personality is a big draw, too. And especially because you're open early in the morning. What time do you open?
We open at 7. We close at 5.
Okay. So you're there for us with our breakfast burritos. From breakfast to lunch, you got us covered.
Yes.
And it kind of seems like a place where people come in, they do their big orders if they're catering a breakfast or whatnot. But it seems like you have a ton of regulars.
Yes, I do. And Jamie, you know what's funny? People come into town right from the airport. They come right to the deli. And before they leave, they take sandwiches and they eat on the plane. I get a lot of snowbirds coming in. I get ball players coming in.
You want to drop names?
It's amazing.
Which ball players? I want names. When do they come?
They do come. Gonzo is a big influence. He comes in all the time. Jim McMahon comes in. Chad Moeller comes in. Steve Hamilton comes in once in a while, but I do get him in.
Yeah. How does the Phoenix Open influence your business?
It's crazy. people do come by and they grab their breakfast burritos or they grab sandwiches and stuff them in, and they start eating it on the golf course.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So this is a good idea. Go
Yeah.
do that. Do we have to call ahead to make sure we get our burritos?
Well, our last Phoenix Open, because the Super Bowl was here, Jaime, seriously, it was a 45 minutes to an hour wait just to get one burrito.
Oh, my gosh.
That's how backed up we were. We had 2 grills going in the back kitchen, and we just couldn't keep up. It was nuts.
They're fresh, though.
Yes.
Better
They're
believe
freshly
they're fresh.
made.
Yeah.
We don't make nothing ahead. Those burritos are hot when you get them.
When you have such an extensive menu like this, what are you eating?
We get 90. We have 92 items in the deli menu. From salads, from breakfast burritos, sandwiches,
gosh.
hot foods. It's amazing.
What was your lunch yesterday?
My lunch yesterday was a couple of meatballs with stuffed shells.
That sounds delicious. Tell me how you met Bolivia.
I met Bolivia here in '95. When she came here, she was only here 4 days.
From where?
She came in from Iraq. She's a Christian Chaldean from Iraq. And she came, and someone told me, hey, there's a beautiful young lady that came in. I met her. After a month, we got engaged. And after 2 months, we got married. And we never dated.
Oh, my gosh. And you've been
we're on
together?
28 years.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
This December 17th, too.
Congratulations to you, too.
Thank
oh, my
you.
gosh. That is so incredible.
Yep. And we have a beautiful daughter.
And how old is she now?
She's 23.
23. And she's she's out of school?
She's in school.
She's in school right now. Oh my gosh, how
She's
exciting.
in medical school.
Yes, that's what I thought. I was thinking we will be calling her doctor soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
So it's just like the American dream. New York City guy comes here to Arizona, meets this beautiful woman, 28 years later has his successful business and happy marriage and a beautiful young daughter to show for it.
And then, Jamie, when I came to Arizona, I don't think there was 900,000 people in the Phoenix metropolitan area back then. There was no 51. 51 stopped at Shea
Yeah.
when I came here. It's blown up as a huge city. It's probably the 4th largest city right now in America.
What part of town do you live in?
Right now, I live up in Cave Creek,
You are. Okay. I love Cave Creek. It's so fun
just
up
west
there.
of the Cactus Shadows up there.
Okay. So you're making a small commute into Scottsdale.
12 miles.
Yeah, not too bad. But that area has changed so much.
Oh, my
I mean,
God, it
everything
blew
that
up.
direction.
It blew up.
I mean, in high school, we were having desert parties off of Joe Max in Scottsdale Road. Sitting in the desert, having your first marg.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you must have seen our community change so much. As a business owner, how have you been able to survive? I know that we've talked during the pandemic about the tough years with the pandemic, tough years with staffing. How have you survived, and what would you tell a business owner who is thinking, man, I got this great sandwich recipe.
Well,
I want to go down my own.
People think they come into Deli and they see me sitting, but there's a lot behind the scenes. If you want to get into the deli business, you have to work it for 6-7 months to even think. It's hard labor. Everything is made fresh. There's no cutting corners. And once you cut corners, your business will fail. You have to learn the business. I always told someone, my cousin wants to open up a deli in an area where there's not much traffic. I says, hey, it's not like New York. New York, you got 19 million people a day in Manhattan. I don't care where you open, you're going to be busy. Out here, you got to let them know you're here, and you got to learn the business. You can't just put refrigeration up and product and not show for it. You got to know what to do.
Yeah, that's interesting because you think of Manhattan, there's foot traffic. You're hungry, you're hungry. Here you have to get us out of our cars, get us off the highway, make yourself a destination if we're not working in that neighborhood.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. What are you loving in Arizona right now? What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you loving?
Well, I like going out, having a few drinks. I like sitting back in my patio, having a cigar and watching sports on TV. And we always do that, me and my wife. I like to go and support other restaurants that they come and support me. There's a lot of restaurants will call me, hey, John, It's Christmas Eve. I want to order food for the staff because the chef is not going to have time.
Yeah.
Or it's the day before Mother's Day. John, we need food for Mother's Day. John, we need this. Thanksgiving, we need to order food for the staff, you know, and they'll order from me and I go support them the same way.
So you want to shout out some of your buddies? Who are some of the restaurants that you kind of grew up with over the last 30 years?
I grew up with the Dominic Group, the Mastro Group. I grew up with the Grimaldi Group. Greenwald, he owns Lorenzo's Pizza now. He owns Power Bar, Fruit Bar, whatever it is, the new drinks.
Huh. Oh, wow. So those are some of your buddies.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it fun to see everyone doing so great? And it looks all shiny and new from the outside, but you guys know the backstories of the heavy lifting that you had to do.
Backstories of each of us. Venezia Pizza, we know Pomo. And we walk in, right away they'll seat us.
Yeah.
We don't even have to have reservations sometimes.
Yeah. So you're VIP around here.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes, it does.
So while I'm asking you kind of keys to success in business, I might as well ask you keys to success in love, since you and Bolivia have such a beautiful marriage for so long.
Thank you.
What is the key? What do you think? What do we need to do?
The key is just trust each other and respect each other. That's it.
Make sure your girl has a bomb salsa recipe. That helps too. That helps too, right?
That's right.
That helps too.
And I do help her sometimes at home.
Yeah.
And she said, no, sit down. Don't worry about it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
She loves to cook every night.
Oh, so she's cooking for you.
Yes.
So you're cooking for everybody all day long, and then she's cooking for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. John Sayegh of Rinaldi's Deli in Scottsdale. It's time to eat.
Yes.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jsoretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Soretta and Instagram @Soretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jamie's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.